All right, great. Let's talk about Aunty Shaffy Bello. Shaffy Bello is she's a Nollywood actress. I guess she had an event last week or something like that that a lot of people were supporting. I was seeing a bunch of people supporting some kind of event she had. But I guess she wanted to chime in on this, like everybody else is doing right now, on this conversation of a relationship of a thing. She wanted to chime in and she had something to say, and I'm going to read it, and we'll read some comments, and then we'll talk about it if we want to talk about it. The title from shout out to Instablog Nigeria says, if a man is bringing something to the table, a man should also bring something to the table. Right? Before I continue, let me engage the chat a little bit. I know there's only a few of us here. What do you think about that statement? Before I continue, it's not a trick. I want to know your authentic. I'm not asking a trick question. I want to know your authentic feeling about it. Before I continue. Okay, if you follow me on Instagram, man of prestige __, you would have seen my comments already. If you follow Instablog Nigeria as well, what do you think about that statement? If a man is bringing something to the table, a woman should also bring something to the table. All right, they probably paraphrasing as I always do. They make it sound good to be clickable, right? What do you think about that statement? If anything, I'll say in 3, 2, and 1. All right, let me go ahead and let's go. Let's see. There you go.
You're asking me, what do I bring to the table? I'm sorry, I'm not one of those. I think we both.
Let's do that. Let's do it again.
Should ask ourselves, what do we both?
And let's do it again. Let's do it again. Let's do it again.
Please never tell a man, what do you mean? Why are you asking me, what do I bring to the table?
She said, never tell a man, what do you mean? I'm watching it for the first time, by the way. Never tell a man, what do you mean? What do I bring to the table? Never tell a man that, right? I kind of subscribe to the same ideology, right? But let's see where she's going with this.
I'm sorry, I'm not one of those. I think we both should ask ourselves, what do
She said, I'm not one of those. We should both ask ourselves, right? Her what do you call it? Addiction. Her accent is accenting, right? So you can only expect more and more common sense stuff, right? Let's keep going.
we both bring it to the table?
Yes.
If he's bringing something to the table, what are you bringing to the table? I don't want a liability.
She said, if he's bringing some to the table, what do you bring to the table? She doesn't want liability. I don't know whose podcast is this. Me, her, and everything's pod. Okay.
If I'm a man, I don't want to marry a liability.
Oh yeah. Oh no. I'm always telling people that you can't be a
I
liability.
want a woman who's got. As a matter of fact, you're even more attractive when you don't
Yes,
need me.
exactly. Like, babe. Oh,
You're
do you
more
have,
attractive.
Do you have this? Can I hold this till next?
The more attractive. I'm not hearing the accent very well. The accent is not for me. She said, let me play it all over again.
week? Yes,
Absolutely.
Not the one
When
where
you
it's
don't
like,
need me,
you're down. You're
more
both
attractive.
down.
When you're just needy.
Oh, when you don't need me, you're more attractive. Right? I agree with that 100%. Of course. Needy people are just, nobody wants to be a part of that, right? Right?
And all that. Now, that's not attractive. So, yes, what do we both? Please never tell a man, what do you mean? Why are you asking?
She said, yes, what do we both bring to the table, right? Somebody said, what do men bring to the table apart from money? That question is not nice. That question is not nice. Okay? That question is not nice either. Money is keke. It's a tool and it's valuable to many people, right? It's just that value actually, as money follows value though, not the other way around. But to be asking men what they bring to the table apart from money, that is ingrate that's talking, and that person is probably not going to end well in a relationship. All right. We can have this conversation she's having. We can have it another way. Sheon Jimo, is this a Sheon Jimo that I know? I think that's him. I think that's my brother, actually. Not my blood brother, just one of my brothers. He says, I have noticed that women who are actually self-reliant don't get offended when asked the question. Shion, come on now. Shion, stop. Shion.
Stop the cap.
Stop the cap, okay? Most women still get offended by that question. There's just a real reason for it. And that's why I think the conversation is also...
Stop the cap.
This cap. Okay. All right. Let's keep going here. Hold on. Before, sorry, pardon my manners. It's 2 comments here. Fune is giving well. Is that Stephanie Coker? She's still holding on to this British accent? Oh, British. Oh, I know that name. I don't know the face though. I know that name, Stephanie Coker. But let me see here. No, Shion is capping big time. Most women still get offended by that question. And most women that will hear that question for the first time are still offended by the question. But there are real reasons why they're offended by the question. It's because that question is a loaded question. It's not a on the paper question. Like, of course, like, hey, you know, if it's just on the paper, if it's not pregnant with anything else, you ask me what I bring to the table, like, what I bring to the table, I think I'm a nice guy. I'm a God-fearing man, right? I'm a, you know, I can tell you about 18 items on a list, right? A list of 18 items of what I am, right? I'm a nice guy, I'm a kind guy, right? I'm patient, I'm gonna treat you well, I'm gonna provide, I'm gonna protect. I already said about 4 or 5. God-fearing, all these things I bring to the table, right? Yeah. Somebody said, Mr. Possidy said, it's funny that people talk about the obvious point more often than they talk about the real important point. The question is not whether we should all bring something to the table that is obvious. Somebody's already reading ahead of me. Somebody's like, that's cap. Somebody's like, stop the cap.
Stop the cap.
Right? We know that everyone should bring something to the table. That was not the conversation. You're moving the goalpost. Maria says, I've never been asked that question. If he's asking, he's not man enough for me. See, now somebody will hear that and will like, he's not man enough for you. Are you afraid? What are you not bringing to the table? Are you afraid that you don't have anything to bring to the table? Like, no, it has nothing to do with that. And I think that's where this next comment is going. And maybe it's either Aunty Shaffy is out of touch. She's never been asked that question too. So she's like, what's the big deal with the question, right? Yeah. So usually with that question comes a certain level of energy, right? And that energy for most women is like, oh, where are your balls? What's going on here? Did I go out? Am I on a date with the child or something? Yeah, the energy will show up. But it shouldn't be what it is. The reality is that it is. What are you going to do about that reality? That's the real question. The reality is that most people are going to be thrown off by the energy, the massive energy that comes with that question, or the terrible experience they've had with somebody who tend to ask that question. They're going to remember, you're going to remind them of the past experience. They're probably going to run away from you. And then you will still run back to the internet and say, why not just answer the question, right? Now, I've taught you guys here, ladies here, how to answer that question in the future. If you're someone that you really feel like you can give them a chance, you can flip it back and say, what would you like me to bring to the table, baby? You can say that back to him. If you want to give him a chance that maybe it's a mistake, maybe it's because the question is now so popular, they don't even know that the question is a pregnant question. There's some people like that, right? But for the most part, they're probably trying to test you, right? It's a test. And naturally, you're going to test each other. Just out of just natural interaction. So when somebody brings an additional layer of test to the table, it can't work. It cannot work. I heard somebody in my spirit. I said, oh, last stop the cap. Oh, last stop the cap. There's nothing wrong.
Stop the cap.
There's nothing wrong with this question. What is wrong with two adults having a conversation, right? First of all, both of you are not adults, okay? You are people on a date, okay? It just so happen not to be children. It's more importantly, you're on a date, right? So at least one person is trying to have a good time and get to know a person. Oh, maybe, I don't know. Listen. Let me stop the cap.
Stop the cap.
Everybody's trying to protect themselves right now. So I get it. You have your own 18 questions. She has her own 18 questions, and vice versa, right? So it is okay, right? If it's okay. So what's the problem? Don't come back and tell me that the dating pool is successful. Don't come back and tell me that. Because there shouldn't be any problem if it's okay. Oh yeah, but people still have their own problem. No, these are one of the problems. So let me point it out for you, okay? Let me read it. Let me continue reading this. So this person said, it's funny that people talk about the obvious point more often than they talk about the real important point. The question is not whether we should all bring something to the table. That is obvious, like duh. The real problem is that what means different things to different people. I couldn't have explained any better. Let me just continue reading it. On some level, that's the what inside. What do you bring to the table? That what means different things to different people. That what is probably a bunch of unrealistic expectations, right? And probably stuff that has nothing to do with you. This person is probably already self-sabotaged. They won't last on that date anyway. They're just wasting your time, right? On some level, everyone knows they want their partners to have something. What is difficult, however, is aligning the way they both see the respective values, perspective, outlook, right? How they see things, aligning it, right? So it used to be like, well, we're going to have a good time. I'm going to get to know you. If there's any red flag that I feel in my soul, I will just find my way out, right? Before I do this a couple of times, we're married, we have children, right? That doesn't mean it's perfect. We continue to do life together and we figure things out along the way. We resolve conflict. We keep moving. At the age of 60, 65, happily ever after. No, it was not perfect. Right? No, it wasn't perfect. Of course not. Why not? Because life is not freaking perfect. Okay? No, but marriage is supposed to be perfect. No, honestly, stop the cap. Most people don't say it like that, but they literally expect that. Right? So this person is explaining it very well. However, it's aligning the way they both see the respective values. I may think I bring a lot to the table, but it may not be what she's exactly looking for. What is important to A is not always important to B, vice versa. Usually, people just assume that if they have done well for themselves, assumption key there. That's true. A lot of people just have unrealistic assumptions everywhere. Based on their definitions of doing well, then they are a catch for anyone. Yeah, they think they're a catch. Like a 35, 36, 37-year-old man say, well, I am in my prime. I can't take any nonsense from any girl. I'm like, what do you mean? Yeah, there are people talking like that out there. Many, okay? They presume their advantages are obvious, but not necessarily. It is very important to understand what exactly the other person wants. This is why I said, as much as it's kind of like banter, a little seductive, when I say ask them, what would you like me to bring to the table, baby? If you ask them that question, it's also you actively trying to listen to their point of view without making any assumptions, right? Because they might not just be coming from the red pill. It might just be a natural question. It's kind of weird still for a man to be asking that question. Like, why are you on a date with a person that you don't kind of know? That you like them enough that you think, you feel that they already bring so much to the table and you can't wait to uncover more of the mystery, right? But anyway, it's very important to understand that exactly the other person wants, not merely what you think any person should want. You can move the world for a person, but if it's not the world they want to see you move, it means nothing. Baba, this guy gets I was looking for he definitely gets a heart from this. Good comment. But let me come to the chat for a second here. Very, very good comment. Love it. So I'm not sure if Aunty Shaffy knows what they were talking about. Like, yeah, of course you should, the diction, like, the accent. Aunty Shaffy was like English. Shout out to the DMV people. She's from the DMV. Like, we both should bring something to them. But she's correct. You're even more attractive if you don't need that person. Correct. Aunty Shaffy, That question is disconnected from the answer in real life. But I probably say you don't pop that question directly. Wisdom is profitable. Hallelujah. I couldn't say that any better. Thank you, sir. Thank you for teaching me. I didn't know how to write it. British. Oh, you're still on that British stuff. Aunty Shaffy doesn't get asked those kinds of questions, I bet. No, she doesn't. So, she unless you really break it down for her, yeah. This is a good answer, Natu. My response will be depending on what kind of table you have. Exactly, right? It shouldn't be. You should just tell us what you bring to whatever kind of table. It shouldn't be conditional, right? Just tell us. My dear, I'm not anything British. Actually looks better. I was laughing really hard. Hey, Jesus. So what type of table do you have, sir? At that point in time, they call you masculine. Are you a masculine? They're like, wait, are you masculine? No, I'm not masculine. I'm actually very feminine. Maybe we just want to say it as it is. Let's just shoot at each other as it is. Straight to the point. Are you masculine? Are you bringing masculinity to this table? Because I'm not interested. You should pay for your own food too, because I'm going home right now. All right. I'm done. Listen. Ola, you're out of touch. You have been out of the game for 16 years. How would you know what's going on? Now they tell me. It's you guys that tell me what is going on. I didn't make this up, right? I made up the masculinity part. But what do you bring to the table part? No, I didn't make that up. That is a real thing, What type of table do you have, sir? If you have a glass table, then we need lighter stuff. And if one of the legs on the table is missed, then you need a carpenter and not. Now that's funny. You need a carpenter and not me. Now, what do you mean the legs are missing? Who determines if the legs are missing? They're actually supposed to be 3 gold legs. And if you press on one side too much, it will fall apart. Now, knowing that there's 3 legs on this table and it's supposed to be because we brought it from Dubai, what do you bring to the table? Because I'm starting to smell masculinity. What do you bring to the table? That's what's wrong with y'all women of today. These modern women. Baba, your neck go break if you don't calm down right now. Your neck go break. Take it easy. Listen. Aunty Shaffy was that. I don't think she was. I'm not sure she understood what was going on with that question. What do you bring to the table remains a very stupid question. That's the verdict. It remains a very stupid question. It means you don't know what you're doing, and it means you shouldn't be on a date. It means you should go back to school, talk to someone. Go back to high school and mess around with a few girls that you don't really have to go on a date, and then, maybe before you take someone out on the date, you kind of have an idea what they already bring to the table, right? Yeah, very, very easy. It's so easy. You're overworking yourself. If you have to go on a date to ask all of these crazy questions, you're overworking yourself. It will not work. Could it work? I promise. Okay, it will not work. For most women are not going to be Aunty Shaffy. Okay, you will just go there and collect.
Sorry.
Let me just warn you. Okay, somebody will just abuse your family members. Okay, and then you just be like masculine women. You're like, okay. Good luck, okay? Ladies, if somebody asks you that question and you really like them, like Natu said, if you already feel like there are 3-legged table here, ask them to call a carpenter, okay? And if you feel like the table is glass, then you can look at the table and say, what would you like me to bring to the table, And then don't assume you know what they mean. Like that brother that left that comment said, don't assume you know what they mean. Have them break it down, what they mean by the table and what would they like on that table. and have a conversation. Just get to know them if you like them enough. But I would definitely start watching at that point in time, because there's probably going to be more questions like that. Okay, those questions will basically indicate that this is a person that don't know what they're doing, and they're looking for someone to coach them. They're looking for a wife, a girlfriend to coach them, and it has nothing to do. It's literally irrelevant from the fact that you bring something to the table. Just irrelevant, you know. I met a Nigerian woman at the store yesterday, and both of us are hosting Thanksgiving. She made turkey and told everyone what to bring. For me, just show up with an empty stomach. Everything was good. Abby, you don't have to bring nothing to the table, right? I see a table with 2 legs, an unhealed human that has his life all over the place, asking what I'm bringing to the table. Masculine care, I'm a baby girl for life. I just want to relax and be taken care of. Another angle. Another angle. All right. Do me a favor, hit that like button, share, subscribe, turn up your notifications, and please share these videos. We're working. Okay, we're building a catalog. It's a big catalog. Okay, so help me share. All right, and let's get into some more. I'll be right back. Beautiful girl, sparkling I find a beautiful girl. It's your love that I've been missing. I miss all your hugs, your touching and kissing. Make love on the floor, the couch in the kitchen. One love enough, we done enough.